So you just got Project Zomboid, or maybe you've had it for quite a while, but those undead freak bags keep getting the best of you. Come with me, my friend, and I'll show you the tips and tricks that help me survive in this desolate apocalypse. Alright, so this guide is intended for beginners for Project Zomboid. So the first thing is first, how you set your game up. You want to go and do custom sandbox, pick your map. I would say Rosewood is the easiest, and then Riverside, and then Muldra, and West Point being the most hellish place on Earth. So let's do Rosewood. Now, you can keep your zombie count on normal, or you can lower it. Depends on, what your skill level is, how much you've played, if you feel confident or not. You can select your starting time and all that. Now, you can also change your water and electricity shut off if you want that, house alarms. For this purpose, I'm going to keep everything normal, just as you would have just gotten the game. But I'm going to turn helicopter off, because screw that. You don't need anything else besides the zombies taking you down. And also what you want to do is go into the advanced zombie options. Take your respawns and set them to 0. Now, make no mistake, these guys will spawn up until day 28, which is the peak population multiplier. But once you pass that date, everything you kill stays dead. Now, the zombies still migrate and everything like that, but put all those to 0. And I think that's about it. You can change things with your character and stuff like that. You can get a starter kit. You can put on multi-hit, but if you just want to run vanilla, then that's what we're going to do. Minus the helicopter and respawns, because nobody likes those. So the thing that helped me the best starting out in this game was Burglar. So you can take Burglar and you start off with -6 points. So what do? Take Slow Reader. You can take easier things to manage, like Prone to Illness. You can take Smoker, that's pretty easy. High Thirst, there's water everywhere. Slow Healer, that's all right. You may not want to pick that if you're getting nailed a lot, but I'm going to try and teach you combat. And Underweight can help, and it's one of those perks that you can do away with later just by eating. So we'll take that. Now, some of the perks that I always take are Fast Learner, that increases XP gains. That's going to be essential because everything takes so long to level in this game. And then you'll want either Athletic or Strong. For this purpose, I think we're going to go Strong, which increases your carry weight and it gives you extra knockback. Alright, for the remaining 6 points, I've thought about this for quite a while. I think I'm going to take Dexterous. That increases the time to transfer items between inventories, and we'll get lucky. Sometimes things just go your way. So next, you'll pick your character. We'll just random, and we'll get into the game, and I'll see you there. Okay, so you have gotten in your game. You've gotten in your spawn house. So I actually spawned in a police station in Rosewood, but if you tend to spawn in a house all the time, what you want to do is go find the TV and turn that down or off immediately. Now, some of the first things you're going to want to do is look for a water bottle, a weapon, something to carry things in, and if you picked Smoker, you'll want to look for a lighter and matches so that you can manage that. So, yeah, just like that. More often than not, the starter places have weapons. You'll also need scissors for leveling tailoring. If you're lucky like me and you spawned in the police station, there's often quite a few good things in here, but you do not spawn with the key. Now, the Burglar class, you can hotwire vehicles. That is your special skill, and you'll never not be able to do that. So right off the rip, you won't have to level electrical to 1 and mechanics to 2. So now you can get a vehicle. All you have to do is get lucky and find one with gas, or you can find a gas can and go scavenge for yourself. Alright, so now that that's done and we've found a weapon, well, let's say your starting house didn't have a weapon. So what we'll do is we'll go outside and we'll fight barehanded. Combat is probably one of the more important things in this game, because it is how you're going to survive. You can't always ditch the zombies. Alright, so you always want to stay at a good fighting angle with these guys so you can gauge the distance of your weapon, or if you don't have a weapon, you can make sure you're not going to get nailed. Now, if you stand on a zombie, it'll prevent them from getting up. You can also stomp them to keep them from getting back up. Come on. There we go. You got to aim for their head when you're stomping them. That will eliminate them very quickly. All right, so if you find a leather jacket, put that on. God, can't talk. All right, so in your first few days, what you want to do is try and find the tools for carpentry and some weapons. We've got a nightstick, but I'm not going to use it yet. Let's say you spawned in the police station and you didn't find any weapons at all. You're just going to have to push these guys to try and get them down. But always try and stay at a good fighting angle, like this. You don't want to fight them coming from the top or bottom. Nope, don't you do it. All right. So now there's kind of too many to deal with. What you can do is walk around until you find some of these big fences like this, and try not to sprint. You can always walk faster than the zombies, unless you're going through trees and bushes. If you sprint, it's gonna eat your stamina away. See, you always have to kind of be careful doing this though. There are zombies everywhere. Panic is also an issue. One thing you can do when fighting these guys is lure them around houses and they will get stuck on doors and windows. And most of the time you'll lose them. See how she kind of lost sight of me? And we can go around the back, come into this house, check it real quick. So there's nothing really worthwhile right there yet. You always want to be careful about blind corners in this game and fighting indoors. It is always difficult. Most of the time you will find weapons and stuff in garages, so those are good to check, especially here. So there's a weapon, you can toss that on the ground. Also, you want to find a watch, and if you haven't already, get to a place with a TV and try and get that area secure. So we're gonna wear this on whichever wrist. All right, now that I've kind of separated the zombies, we'll go back. I know I heard another one. Yeah, we also need to find a water bottle. If you're having trouble looking for those, trash cans and trash bins are some of the best places I find them. There's also a garbage bag and some bandages. So there we go. Here's some weapons. And if you need help navigating the map, take a look at the Project Zomboid. All you have to do is Google Project Zomboid map, and you'll find an interactive map there that'll show you everything and the worthwhile stuff. All right, so now we have a TV. So in the first, I think, 9 days, you'll want to tune this into the life and living. Now the shows come on at 6 a.m., 12 a.m., 5 or 6 p.m., and then at midnight. So you'll want to catch those. Most of the time, noon is carpentry, and you can get free skill points off of that. Let's get some water real quick so our guy doesn't die. You want to look for skill books as well. Before you go leveling anything, any of the skills, you want to find the skill books, because that's just going to make your life way easier. You want to try and catch the TV as much as you can. That's also another thing. You can check the wiki to see exactly what show is on when. They mix it up a little bit throughout the first 9 days. Wow, there was really nothing in this house. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Okay, well, we got a second story house, which is important. I never stay in single story houses unless I have to, because it is dangerous. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in this house. Okay, let's go to the second one then. I do need to find a water bottle. Now, with the burglar class, you can always get in windows. Pretty much. I think the perk says like it's a less chance of breaking a window lock, but you pretty much always get in. So we can tune that to the life and living. There we go. You want to turn it down to 1. Now you can loot the house, and if you see the words start appearing on the screen, you can hear the mumbling, you'll know that the show is on. You can go catch it. Oh, and as for settings, this is really important. You go into accessibility, you can turn on resume normal speed when timed actions are complete. that, and alright, so after you turn on the accessibility to resume normal speed, that means when you speed up time while you're doing actions like reading and stuff like that, when you finish that action, it will resume normal speed. So also what you want to do is go to aim outline and change it to any weapon. That'll make it so that when you right click and hold it, you can highlight zombies that you're targeting with melee or bare hands. So the TV is about to come on. Let's catch the show. It should be carpentry. Yep, there we go. And boom, we didn't have to do anything. We just sat there for a half hour and we got one in carpentry already. So now that we're in this house, another thing, never fight on stairs. It's very dangerous. Anytime I've fought on the stairs, I always miss the zombies. I swing right through them and I just get nailed. Another thing you'll want to be careful about is opening doors. There's a pistol. I would advise against using guns in the first few days. What you want to do to level up your aiming to make it, if you go out there and run around and shoot with the pistol, you're just going to draw zombies in and you're never going to hit anything. You want to find a shotgun, get a bunch of ammo, but that's kind of later on in the run. Actually, I do need these cigarettes. Let's take those. Another tip I can give you, everything that you want to stay in your inventory, you can favorite it. Like your matches, your lighter. That way, if you want to dump off all your loot, you can just transfer all and it's done with. Okay, so I haven't found a water bottle in here yet. I need to keep checking trash cans. All right, so you've got a big horde here and you want to clear your area before the end of the night. So what you do is kind of sneak around and try to peel these guys off one at a time, one or two at a time. Now that you've got your weapon, you want to just back up slowly, and if you can get them on the ground, smash them out before the other Zeds get here. My brain's going a million miles an hour. It's hard. I've got so much information that I want to give you guys, and I want to help you survive. And it's hard to pick and choose which ones are the best for the beginning game. There's so much information, one video just couldn't cover it. There you go. You'll also want to check mailboxes for skill books, like how to use generators, Lane's Auto Manual magazine, and stuff like that. So see how I just peeled off that one guy by sneaking around? That's what you want to do. And just try and keep them at a good angle. Learning your weapons distance is a very important thing. Each weapon has a different distance. And you also want to make sure you know what's behind you when you're backing up. You always want to fight these guys backing up like this. But say there's too many. What you can do is use houses or big fences to kind of avoid those guys. You can also use these fences, hop over them. But see, they're dangerous. Now I've hurt my leg. So what do? We go and rip up. Nope, that was a sheet rope. We'll rip one of these. I can't believe the first fence I went over, I got nailed. Dirty rags, don't need those. Let's rip one. Come on, give me a clean rag. There we go. Alright, so you can press H, and if you have stuff to disinfect it, use that, like alcohol wipes or a bottle of disinfectant. It'll be better in the long run. So now we've got a mobility hindrance and pain, which is going to affect your fighting capabilities quite severely at that. I think we also dropped our hammer. I don't know if I've ever had that happen. You can still fight, but the main thing is you have to get the zombies to the ground, otherwise they're probably never going to die. There we go. If you did decide to spawn in Rosewood, this is a great location. It is just to the side of the fire station and the police department. Let's see, we were holed up in this house, and it has these two tall fences going around the back and the side. So now you're hurt. Basically what you want to do is just hang around in the area that you know is semi-secure. Go through, try and find stuff. Here we go. Here's some milk. We'll drink that to take care of our thirst. And just hang out. If you found skill books, read those and just wait for... Thought I heard something. Wait for your injury to go away. We are slow healers, so we're gonna have to watch it when this turns dirty. We're gonna have to change it and clean the bandage over and over. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Oh, one quick thing I want to show you while you're healing. If you go over to this icon and select pick up, you can pick this TV up and take it upstairs to your bedroom, whichever bedroom you decide to use. It'll draw less attention being upstairs, and also it'll make it so you don't have to always go downstairs. Now you go to that same icon, you go to place, and you can hold left click and rotate it with the mouse. You can set it down, and also what you want to do is make sure to set the alarm on your watch for 6 in the morning. So you can stay up at midnight and then catch the show at 6 in the morning. So the afternoon show or mid-evening show is actually on at 6 p.m. and not 5. Sorry for that. But now we'll just speed up time. I've been babying my bandage. This kind of sucks. I have to keep going back and getting water, but I will be with you when this finally heals. Okay, so hopefully you have survived your first night. Now we can catch the morning show. I did find in the kitchen an empty white mug. Let's see what skill that gave us. Cooking. It's alright. I used to do a lot of cooking in this game, but then I realized you can survive off canned goods for a long time. So you can use these white mugs to, or red, or whatever color you get, to hold water in. They kind of suck, they drain fast, but it's alright. Soon enough, hopefully we'll be able to find a water bottle. More often than not, where I find them are in trash cans. Also, let's check our bandage. We'll want to remove the dirty one so it doesn't get infected. We can toss those dirty rags. I tore apart some more clothes that I found inside to get bandages. Alright. So let's focus on combat for a little while. When these guys are grouped up like that, you gotta be real careful because you will get nailed. And make sure that you're aiming straight at them. Sometimes this aim outline, it helps, but sometimes it can be a hindrance because you think you're targeting them, but you're actually not because your cursor's 2 pixels to the left. and your weapon will telegraph straight through the zombie and you'll get nailed. But nonetheless, watch out when they're grouped up. Okay, now we're in another house. So skill books. Carpentry, very important. Tailoring, that can save your life. Also look for these magazines. These are things you can read while you're waiting for the shows or while you're watching the shows. You'll want to always check these. The kitchens are normally where you get your food. Can opener, very important. Always carry one of those on you and favorite it so that you can open up canned goods. There's another weapon. Whatever weapon class you decide to go with, they're all pretty good. I'm not one of those axe versus crowbar kind of guys. The two-handed weapons, crowbars, bats, axes, they use up more stamina, but they do more damage and they have more knockdown. Now the shorter weapons, also the two-handers have more reach, but like I said, they use up your stamina and you'll get winded pretty quick and have to rest more often. I personally think my favorite is short blunt. It's a good in-between. You always want to check. Oh, here's another thing. If you go in here and you don't find anything you want, check the countertop by scrolling to the floor. Houses are really good things to loot in the first week. Those big wardrobes you see, more often than not. Oh, here's some disinfectant. Good. So we can disinfect some rags, and when our bandage turns dirty again, we can use these. I'm only got one out of that bottle. That's okay. We can use them to keep from getting an infection. Those big wardrobes will sometimes have big hiking bags in them. They'll sometimes have school bags. You want to find something that you can carry loot in so you don't have to weigh your character down. You don't want to be fighting and traveling weighed down, because that'll all add into making your character tired. Alright, so there's not much in here. We got a skill book. Let's go back to the garages, check these. More often than not, this is where I find generators as well. Yep, there's one right there. Perfect. And as you can see, a bunch of weapons. Stuff like that. So ideally, you just kind of want to go house to house, trying to find the things you need. The carpentry tools, weapons, food. Now you'll want a saw, a screwdriver, and a hammer. That'll allow you to dismantle furniture, level your carpentry, and barricade your doors and windows if you so choose. You can also craft sheet ropes out of these guys' clothes right here. And if you take nails, you can add escape ropes from the top floor. That way, if you want, you can barricade the doors up and not have to worry about it. So this is locked. Anytime you find a locked house, there is a chance of there being an alarm. If you trigger an alarm, get out of there. Just go back and hide in your base on the top floor, and then come and deal with it later on. And if there's too many to deal with, you may just want to move. Also be careful inside of places. The zombies tend to hide in bathrooms and closets and stuff like that. Sounds like there was one. Yep, there was one across the street. All right, buddy, come here. Come on, go to the ground. Always be wary of these blind corners like this. Give them a wide berth. I've gotten nailed a few times. The zombie will be right around the corner and I'll run around and get got. Okay, so let's get inside this place. All right, had to pause the game. There's an ambulance going by. I didn't want to have to edit that out. All right, so here we got a big wardrobe. Let's check this. There we go, a hiking bag. So we'll equip that on our back, and we will. Nah, we don't have to favorite it. But what we can do, instead of having to transfer all this into our backpack manually, we can just transfer it in there. Go to loot all. Bing, bang, boom, done. And this will allow. Wow, it's already full. Oh no, I'm on the wrong thing. If you want to know how to transfer these really quickly, you can hold shift and scroll, or you can go up to the icons with your mouse and use the scroll. All right, so now we got a big hiking bag. Now we can carry a lot of loot and our essential items with us, which is great. Nothing there. Let's check the countertop. Oh, might as well fill up our mug while we're here. Do it twice because he already needed a drink. Okay. Electronics magazine. I would say your most important skills to level early day would be your weapon skills and carpentry. There we go, there's a hammer. Even if it's a half-burnt hammer, it's still fine. When you dismantle things and barricade and stuff like that, it's not actually going to take the durability of your hammer down. Okay, here we go. Here's a good example. Maybe you made an oopsie and you aggroed a bunch of zombies. What do? Run around and shout and aggro more? No. As much as you want to do that, no. So I intentionally did that to show you what you can do to get rid of these guys. All right. You want to get a bit of a distance from them? Try doors like this. If you can get in the door, good. If not, go around the house. Now, especially with burglar, this works really good. Get some distance. You can press Y to bring up the walk to command and speed it up to get away really quickly. And then you can just go super sneaky mode. As you can tell, burglar, you start off with 2 and nimble, light-footed, and sneaking. So that'll aid you in getting away from zombies, sneaking around town. When I first started this game, burglar helped me out a lot because I could not fight the zombies and I would just die over and over and over again. And eventually, when I got to the point where I could survive a week or so, I would stealth everywhere. Once you get sneaking leveled up, it's actually really useful. See, now I ditch those zombies, nowhere to be seen. You can do this with houses, you can do this with big fences, you can do it with trees. All right, let's get into this house. There we go. We are still looking for a saw. Any of the carpentry books? Nothing in here. I would say leveling up your weapon skills are pretty important, because by the time peak population multiplier hits, you want to have at least a level 2 or 3 in your primary weapon skill to be able to fight them off, because there's just going to be more and more and more and more the longer you wait. All right, nice leather jacket in here. There's a rifle. These big wardrobes often have great loot in them. There we go, just some vitamins up there. I personally always carry vitamins and beta blockers on me, just because they tend to help. If you start getting tired during the day, you can take vitamins to help alleviate that, but it's not a fix-all. They'll only last so long. And beta blockers are great because when you become panicked, it lessens your combat abilities. It'll eat the durability of your weapon up, and you'll be fighting the zombies all day. Alright, let's keep on moving. I always like to secure the area nearest to where I'm going to base up, and then I move out and branch out from there, clearing the area. Okay, so there's a house alarm. Here's a perfect example. Get out of there really quickly. Get some distance from that place. You can use the walk to command. So what we can do now to throw off their pathing is just hop this fence. These guys are going to be coming in for miles trying to get to that place. So if you find yourself in this situation, we're dehydrated as well. We're going to use this police station. We're going to walk around it and try and lose these zombies on it. There we go. You always walk faster than these guys, so you, more often than not, don't have to sprint. You just have to avoid them. They will actively try and cut you off, because these guys are super 200 IQ indie stone zombies. All right, let's cut this corner hard. Use the walk to command with Y. I have rebound my speed up keys to F1, 2, and 3 just because it's easier for me to remember. I forget what the defaults are, but you can only speed your walking up by the first one. I believe it's 2 times. So now that we've ditched those zombies, we'll have to go in here and just hide out. We can also catch a show. First, let's get some water. Have yet to find a water bottle, but that's okay. Let's just stay stealthed and go over by this TV and get some skill. Should be the carpentry one. Yep, there we go. I have managed in the first 9 days to get my carpentry all the way up to 10. I got really lucky finding the books, and I read them, and I got all of the carpentry shows. And then I just tore a bunch of houses apart, all the furniture inside of them. And I got my carpentry up all the way to 10. It's really lucky, and it depends on how your loot rolls go. But now there's going to be a ton of zombies down there. So what I'm going to do is get into my house, spend the night in here, let them calm down, and try and avoid them the best I can. So I'm going to get in here, and I'm going to spend the night. I'll meet you guys back in the morning, and we'll see how bad it is. Okay, so we have now survived our second night. We woke up earlier than our alarm, so we'll make sure to turn that off. And first things first, we'll catch our show. I could be reading books while I'm doing this, but this is just a guide survivor for the time being. I have no food on me. Okay, that's the show. So let's get out of here. Now, I did hear zombies down near this house in the middle of the night, but what I did is stayed crouched the whole time. They know I'm here, but I hadn't made enough noise to aggro them. So now we'll go downstairs. Well, we'll have some cereal, why not? So if you pick underweight, you'll want to go around and just eat all the stuff you can find, all the fresh foods, just eat it all. Alternatively, you can throw it in the freezer, or you can cook yourself some food if you find a frying pan or things like that. Eventually you will get out of underweight. Now, what does underweight do? It lowers your stamina. You'll get tired faster from fighting and running during the day. Where you drop that off is about 80 pounds. You want to stay between 77 to 85 pounds. If you go over 85, you'll be in the danger of getting obese, and that also lowers your stamina. I do believe obese is worse than underweight. That's why I usually choose underweight. Okay, so now let's go over there and see just how bad that alarm is. How many it brought in. It's probably going to keep bringing them in for quite a while. One saving grace is that there is a big fence down there. Yeah, there's quite a few down here. Okay, so we do not have any beta blockers. So if you want to learn how to fight these guys in a big crowd, what you want to do is try and stay calm and just aggro them up. And you want to stay in the area where you fought them. Somebody has got a very loud speaker system. Hit, turn, run. And you can repeat this action over and over. Just be very careful with what you're doing. Always check behind you. There we go. You want to get them in a single file line the best you can. And some ways you can do that is by using buildings. You can use cars, you can use fences. Just go around here like this. I know this area is fairly safe, so I'll just bring them around the corner like that. Nice single file line. Hit them. There we go. Check behind you. There we go. Try and smash that guy out. That was a little risky. Always be careful about getting locked in an animation when you're actively fighting zombies. Okay, so now they're a little too grouped up again. Always be careful of that. So what we'll do is use the house. Just single them out. There we go. Just keep doing this until they're dead. See how that guy got attracted to the garage door? And I also lost another inside the garage. Just be careful with what you're doing. Get a good feel for the distance on your weapon. And be aware of your surroundings. And this should help you survive your first few days in Project Zomboid. Ultimately, it comes down to practice. You have to learn how to fight the zombies, how to use your weapons, and when to bail when the fight gets too much. And you have to learn when your character gets tired, depending on what stats you chose and what traits you took. My current run through on my current series on this channel, I'm doing a fitness instructor, and I started off with a lot of fitness. So once I get my skill leveled up, I'll be able to fight all day long with melee, and it's been really good so far. All right, just on 2 days, so we're doing good. We already found a big hiking bag, got a nightstick, a couple weapons, we've got a hammer, got a couple skill books, but I think this is going to be enough for this guide. Honestly, there's so much information that I want to give you guys, and it's just not all going to fit in a video. This is just a simple guide for beginners to help you try and survive your first couple days. Now, there are a lot of opinions and a lot of strategies on this. This is what helped me, and if you have any helpful comments, leave them down below. And I encourage everybody to be mindful that I do not know everything about this game. I am still learning even after 550 hours of playtime with this game. But as always, if you like the video, hit that like button, and if you find yourself enjoying the content, consider subscribing. And it's free, and you are one click away from joining the Fire Nation army. If you are interested in playthroughs and let's plays, I will link a Zomboid playlist up here for your viewing pleasure. Feel free to check them out. And I hope this guide helps you survive, because this game is really great and there's a ton of mods for it. The modding community and just the community in general for this game is really nice, really helpful, and I love it. But as always, have a great day and try and survive. And if you do die, don't let it discourage you. Learn from your mistakes. I constantly die in this game. If you're a longtime viewer of my channel, you'll know I've lost quite a few survivors in stupid ways. But have a great day, all you beautiful people out there.